Winter in the Netherlands. At first sight, a cold, barren and icy country. However, under these circumstances, a peaceful and frugal people such as the Dutch can suddenly become enthusiastic. The ice on the lakes and the canals turns them into a playground for young and old. The dikes, which usually hold back the water, serve as slides. But the favorite sport is skating. In the Netherlands, the love of skating becomes a passion, especially if you can skate along all of the 11 centuries-old cities. A special organization attempts to organize a mammoth 200-kilometer race every winter. However, first, it has to freeze exceptionally hard, and sometimes this doesn't happen for 22 years. Will the race be held at long last?
Het ijs is de afgelopen dagen goed aangegroeid.
The chairman of the 11 cities race makes the final decision. Okay, too much snow has fallen, but the chance that it will be held is getting better. A twisting road of ice across 200,000 meters of canals and lakes has to be swept clean by volunteers. Everyone is enthusiastic. The public wants to know if the race is still on. There is a press conference such as we have never seen before. There are more journalists here than there were at the inauguration of the Dutch Queen. But it's bad news.
Voor de komende dagen zullen leiden tot een situatie waarin het niet
The ice is not strong enough to support so many people.
een Elfstedentocht te houden.
The spirit of the 11 cities race has been dampened. The hope for the ceremony on ice appears to have been extinguished. Only these ducks are cheerful, for spring is on the way. Three weeks later, spring is approaching with a new coating of ice, and this time without the snow. The ice has to be capable of supporting 16,000 participants in the 11 cities race. This means that there has to be an ice layer at least 15 centimeters thick. As temperatures drop, the fever starts to rise.
Als het inderdaad doorgaat en de tijd wordt nog nader bekendgemaakt, dan moet u zijn bij de Frieslandhal in Leeuwarden. Ik ga nu de raad geven, dus er zijn aanzien dat de dagbladen dat roepen mensen aan.
De voorzitter van het Elfstedencomité.
Then, the long-awaited decision is announced on Dutch television.
Harmen Roeland vroeg hem of het Elfstedenbestuur een historische beslissing heeft genomen.
Uitgaande van 4 nachten.
The race will be held. The date, Thursday the 21st of February, 1985.
Op donderdag 21 februari.
The fever turns into a kind of drunken frenzy. There is a rush to participate in the tour. Only 16,000 can take part, and this despite the fact that the route is an extremely long and difficult one. Throughout the country, participants are registered for the tour via the computer, but you have to be quick. First come, first served. It'll be pitch black when the race begins. The flashlight salesman smells business here.
Weet je ook waar je schaatsen kan huren? Ik ben mijn schaatsen vergeten. Fahnen, sjaals, stickers. Wie naar Fahnen, sjaals, stickers.
The organizers don't want to leave anything to chance and inspect the route one last time.
Meer. Oh, nou nee, dan doen we het weer zo. Maar toen vlogen we 5 meter hoog. Ja.
Meanwhile, the Frisian capital, Leeuwarden, is crowded with participants and supporters. These people, training and exploring the 200-kilometer route, appear to be swallowed up by an endless flat landscape. This piece of ice could almost be described as a holy place, the finish. Is this an ideal or utopia? Enormous organizational measures start to gather pace. Police expect 1 million spectators. How can the narrow country roads be kept clear?
Dat plan werk je dan maar verder uit.
Dutch television prepares itself for the biggest technical coverage in its history. Besides the 16,000 tour participants, all of whom hope to be able to finish the course in one day, there are also 277 competitors in the race. The competitors all want to win and to break the legendary record of 7.5 hours. These are the heroes, top athletes who train daily for a race which may not take place for years. Now they are friends. Tomorrow they will be arch rivals.
Maar met het lopen heb je natuurlijk nog.
Je moet naar zoveel lopen dat je kunt beter heel Friesland doorlopen.
The big day has finally arrived. It's nearly 5:30 a.m. The runners start first. Whoever wins will be lifted into the air by the crowd, will become famous, perhaps even wealthy.
20 seconden voor de start. Het is mijn laatste aankondiging.
First, there's a mile to be run on the way to the ice. The skates must be fastened securely, and then away into the barren darkness. For 200 kilometers, you've got to balance yourself on blades which are 1.5 millimeters thick. Are the tour participants trained well enough to complete this nearly inhuman challenge? Some seem to doubt it. Not everyone leaves at once, but in groups of 1,000 every 15 minutes. In any event, for them, it's not a fight for seconds. No, later they will be able to tell their grandchildren that they completed the tour. As evidence, they'll receive a small silver medal. Meanwhile, a heroic competition is taking place in the dark. The front runners dash into the first city, 22 kilometers further. Here, they have their cards stamped at the checking station. A short dash across a dike or street on the narrow blades. And there's the ice again. Of course, blades must stay sharp. Morning has broken. It's about 8 a.m. and some tour participants are still starting the race. Not too many could leave at once, for otherwise the ice would give way. However, the competitors in the race are already 84 kilometers further southwest in the picturesque town of Hinterlopen. These reckless front-runners notice little of the town's beauty. An hour later, these first tour participants will perhaps see somewhat more. Like a flock of colorful birds, they flutter onwards. These places may be small, but centuries ago they were granted the right to call themselves cities. And now and again have something to eat or drink. Come on, there's still a long way to go to the 11th and last town. There's not that much romanticism among the athletes in the front lines. After 100 kilometers, a bitter struggle flares up. Every now and then, speeds of between 40 and 50 kilometers an hour are reached. Sometimes across obstacles. Out of respect, bridges are raised. Respect, since the physical condition of these lads is unbelievable. The racers are approaching Balsvaart, the seventh city. Still 100 kilometers to go. The legion of 16,000 tour participants follows at a distance. Like migratory birds, they group together, keeping about the same pace. Again, the competition. Of the 277 athletes, a select group remains. We approach the old port town of Harlingen. Two men see their chance. Here, they have to climb up and over the main street. But look, this flat country also has its mountain climbers. Hungry mountain climbers. Every now and then we observe signs of exhaustion. A merciless trial course. Here, the ice heroes bow their heads to avoid the hard cement bridges. The winner will soon emerge from this group of 12 frontrunners. They are already far ahead of the record of 7.5 hours. In this hamlet, which is home to no more than several dozen people, thousands are awaiting the first skaters. And within a few seconds, they've passed. Here, on the way to the northernmost and second to last city, Dokkum, the skaters enter a decisive stage in the competition. And indeed, now there are 4 front-runners. Like broken men, the others seem to have given up. The town holds its breath. There are the 4. sorry, there they were. Keep it up. Try to stay in the lead. And where are all the rest? Are they the losers? Perhaps they feel it. But who is a loser in this historic struggle? And now to the finish. The skaters follow part of the same course they travelled on the way here. They therefore meet those behind them, which can be disconcerting. Such as here. And here. There are the 4 frontrunners, but soon there will be only one winner. But which one will it be? For hours, thousands have waited at the finish. Even the Queen and the Prime Minister are here to greet the winner. And here they come around the last bend. The record has been shattered. But who will receive the wreath of honor? That one at the back to the left, he's the one to watch. He's like a sly fox lying in wait for his chance. The 26-year-old Evert van Bentum is the winner of the 11 Cities race of 1985. He's immediately surrounded. The Dutch Queen and the King of the Ice seem to be the only ones here. Hardly any attention is paid to these daring men in the second category. It's a beautiful day, but for some, it's a merciless day as well.
Kilometer voorbij. En we slepen. Slepen wij Jan niet meer halen. Zwaar. Ja.
The nameless army carries on, falling and getting up again. No, you can't forget about these obstacles. Watch out for your head. A bite to eat every now and then can give you new energy. after several kilometers, there is another village, or perhaps the next city. This village laid out a 250-meter carpet for the skaters. Let's take a moment for the ice foxtrot. Slowly but surely, it's becoming a swinging party. But the 200-kilometer show must go on. Sport brings people closer together, particularly here in this unusual skating marathon. Emotions pour out behind the finish line. He made it. In the midst of the festivities, the fatigue is quickly forgotten. The card receives its last stamp. 11 cities, 11 stamps. Proof that the tour has been completed.
Kapot. Helemaal stuk. Echt waar. Maar ja, we hebben het record van Papen.
After skating for 200 kilometers on these narrow blades, you've got to learn to walk again. But you never forget how to dance for joy. Evening approaches in the northernmost town of Dokkum. Many are still underway. Even now, while the thaw is setting in and more water is covering the ice. Now, it's obvious. The 11 cities race could not have waited another day. Who says that not everyone is interested in the race? While thousands are still trying to reach the finish, the ceremony to honor the winner has already begun. This one is also a winner, not for the nation, but for himself. And so is he, as are about 13,000 others who completed the tour. But there's only one real winner, Evert van Bentum. For years to come, his name will be associated with the unforgettable Dutch winter of 1985.